Welcome back to my channel. My name is Derica and you are watching Shelf Love with D. Welcome back to another weekly wrap up of my reads and streams. I'm slowly but surely getting back into the groove of my reading. Streams are still a little bit on the slow side, which is okay because we are here for all things books, and the streams are just a bonus to help you get to know me a bit better, but also to possibly put you on to some movies, some shows or documentaries that you yourself have not yet come across or watched. So let's not prolong this any longer. Let's get right into the wrap-ups of the reads that I read this past week. So the first book up that I read was Butterscotch Blues, my favorite book if you are new here. This was a buddy read with my buddy Ashley. She had reached out to me for some book recommendations and I sent her one of my videos, and one of the books that I recommended was Butterscotch Blues. She picked it, she ordered it right away, and I'm like, girl, let's buddy read it. I've been wanting to reread it anyway, and with me already having an idea of what the book was about, I would like to just read it with someone who is walking to it fresh and unaware of what's to come, just to get that first time reading experience all over again. Although as I was reading this book, I was reminded of things that I had forgotten. I had remembered the ending completely different, so it was really nice to read after all these years. I want to say it's almost probably like 20 years since I've read this book, and I still enjoyed it. But I did read this book now as a 36-year-old woman with a fresh lens, with a mature lens, with a different lens that I did as a teenager. I want to start, of course, by saying that I rated this book 5 stars, and just so y'all know, I did end up getting the dust cover. It's not in the greatest of shape, but nonetheless, we have one. As y'all know, Thrift Books did me wrong and sent me this hardcover without the dust cover on it, and I was so sad about that. But I have the cover now, and I'm thinking about putting the library tape on it just to keep it from getting any further damage, but I'm also afraid of that tape because I've heard that it does the job and you have to be very sure of the placement of the tape. So I'm not sure yet if I'm just going to leave it like this or try to reinforce it with some library tape. But yes, just to let y'all know, an update, I got the dust cover, and we'll go into more details about how that came about in another video. But anyways, as I stated, I rated this book 5 stars. It was a buddy read with my girl Ashley, and she loved the book, y'all. She was messaging me like the way I'm talking back to this book and the emotions that she felt of this book. She said she loved it, and that was the reaction that I wanted. Of course, you want the people around you to love your favorite reads, but it's not always the case. But when they do, it's almost like it's a future your book, like yay, another one. But she enjoyed the book. I'm so glad that she did, and I believe that she is going to be reading another Margaret Johnson Hodge book here soon. I want to say it was one of the ones that I had on my short, which was True Lies. So anyways, back to Butterscotch Blues. Love this book down, as y'all know, but as I stated, I read this book as an adult versus a teenager, and I had a different perspective on things that I didn't pick up on or realize at the beginning. Okay, so I've talked about this book before on my channel. This is probably one of the books y'all are going to get tired of me referencing, but it is my favorite book of all time. So get used to it and just bear with me. But I've talked about this book before on my channel, and I've read the description before, but if you are just now tuning in, I will go ahead and read it for you now. It says, Sandy Hutchison has skin so dark and chocolatey brown, her friends call her the Black Diva. At the age of 34, she and her 3 girlfriends have shared a tight bond since college and been through the ups and downs of dating. With high aspirations about careers and love, they sometimes feel a bit short of their dreams, but nevertheless are always there for one another to offer sympathy and support. There's Martha, a successful assistant district attorney who has the beautiful apartment and the luxury car, but is still missing the most important element, someone to love. Brittany, timid and overweight, wasn't certain if she would ever find happiness, but when Maurice enters her life, she wonders if this time love will treat her differently. Then there is Janice, vivacious, warm, and giving. She foolishly wears her heart on her sleeve, hoping each time will somehow turn out differently. Sandy wonders if love has eluded her as well, until the day she meets Adrian, a Trinidadian with caramel skin, wavy hair, and eyes the color of butterscotch. Sandy, played with low self-esteem since childhood, is doubtful that he would be attracted to her, but Adrian is earnest in his intentions. He opens his heart and wins her over. Together they share a whirlwind romance with blissful happiness until the night of a fateful call from the hospital, and she learns of his ailing ex-wife. Now Sandy must decide if her love is strong enough to help them get through what may be their darkest hour. My updated review says, reread in 2026. How is it possible that my heart is both full and shattered at the same time? Miss Margaret Johnson Hodge is that woman. Poetry in motion, love in book form. 100% she did that. So things that I realized in this book as a grown woman is, although I love this book as a story, as a romance, I am not so sure what I would have done if I was in Sandy's shoes and I got the information that she got. Also, the book is centered around all the women, or the group of friends, feeling as though their life is not complete, or that their happiness doesn't begin, or they can't truly begin living until they have a man. Now, although I know for a lot of women, we want that picture perfect image, to have a man and the ring and children. And there's nothing wrong with that being the goal or something that you desire. But I didn't like how all of the women felt as though they needed a man before those things can happen, or before their success even could truly mean something. And that was something amongst all the group of women in this book that was on their mind. Yeah, I have a career. Yeah, I have this. Yeah, I can buy whatever I want. But girl, I ain't got no man to keep me warm at night. And I do realize that there's a lot of women who feel that way. I grew up loving love and always wanted a serious relationship. I was not one to casual date. So I was very serious from a young age. But as I got older, after many mistakes, I realized that I am okay by myself. Yes, I would love the addition of a man, but I don't need a man, and I can start living and enjoying life before, or if that never happens. And lo and behold, of course, once I start doing my thing, living my life and traveling and things, love found me. But that was something that I realized in this book that I didn't pick up on before. Another thing was, I love the raw, authentic inner dialogue. So let's say when Sandy was going through with Adrian, but Brittany was, falling in love and finding herself and losing weight, getting her hair done, Sandy, on the surface and truly deep in her heart, she was happy for her friend Brittany, but she was also bitter and envious. And so her inner dialogue was like, how fat Brittany get somebody to dance with her before I do? And although it's messed up, it is genuine. Or like, let's say Cindy was upset that she possibly could never have kids, and then here Brittany comes and she's pregnant. And as a friend, what are you supposed to say? Congratulations, right? And she says that, but inwardly she's like, how is it that Brittany is getting the life that I'm supposed to be living? So she's deep in her core as a friend. She's truly happy for her friend. But also, there's also that other part of us that until we are whole ourselves, it's hard to be genuinely happy for someone else when you feel that you are not getting or living the life that you desire, but they are, So I loved it. It was very authentic. And another thing that was different for me is that although I loved Adrian and Sandy, they are the main couple of the book, Brittany and Maurice ended up being more so my favorite now as a grown woman, just because they were on grown people things. There was no back and forth. There was no doubt. There was no, okay, we're together now, we're broken up. I want you. I don't want you. I can do this. I can't do this. Maurice was sure from the moment that he chose Brittany. And so for that, I loved them down. She was sure. He was sure. They accepted each other. And then they started to do life with each other and love each other in action versus the doubt the doubts and insecurities and games that the other couples were going through and playing in this book. But it definitely highlights how, how women friendships can be, that we are all aiming for, love or success. And although I'm happy for you and I want to see you doing well, how sometimes there can be that underlying jealousy, resentment, or bitterness if you yourself are not whole. I do believe when you have worked on yourself and you love yourself and you're sure of the plan that God has for your life, it's very easy for you to be excited for other people and genuinely congratulate them. But this book is so good. I literally, no lie, y'all, had to pause several times toward the last 15% because I was fighting tears. And a book has never moved me to tears. But oh my gosh, this book literally had my heart hurting as if Sandy and Adrian were real people. And when I read the last page and closed the book, I almost felt like I can't read another book because I felt like I would be betraying Sandy and Adrian just to forget about their story so fast and move on. But if you want authentic women, authentic feelings, authentic friendships, if you want to feel every emotion from being on cloud 9 to angry and yelling at the book and then being happy again and wanting to choke friends who are being silly, chasing after men who are no good for them, or being desperate or thirsty, pick up Butterscotch Blues. I will always recommend this book. Miss Margaret Johnson Hodge, her pen game is like no other. She wrote this story so well on a sensitive topic, and I don't want to say what it's about because I would love for you guys just to completely go in blindly. But if you have not read Butterscotch Blues, order it. You can get it on thrift books, used. Amazon sells it third party. It is definitely worth the read. It also made me think and be reflective. Like, thank God I'm, married and don't have to worry about the dating scene, but just how carelessly we can move with ourselves in the dating world, not realizing the danger that we can put ourselves in from leaving with random guys or, having unprotected, body clapping, or how we give second, third, and fourth, fifth, sixth, 10th tries to people who have already shown us who they are. And whether that is a man or friendships, I feel like whoever said that you have to give second chances, who are they? You know what I'm saying? You're not walking around with my heart. You're not living my pain, my feelings. I definitely think that forgiveness should be given. But just because you hurt me once and I decide to cut you off, I'm not wrong for that. I can value myself, my time, my energy that much that if you play me, if you hurt me, if you disrespect me, if you disregard me, I'm done that first time, but I can forgive you, move in grace, and be cordial with you, but you'll never have access to me in that way again. I can make that choice. And I think more women need to be told that, and even men, that it is okay to walk away after the first hurt. It is okay to walk away after the first disappointment or betrayal or whatever. You don't have to keep allowing access to you or giving that person who's already shown you how little they value you the chance to hurt you again. But it is also okay to forgive if that is what you feel to do. I just don't think that we should be pressured into giving 50 billion tries to men who are not good for us, or even friendships who are no longer adding to our lives. So definitely recommend Butterscotch Blues, y'all. That book is so good. My chest was tight. Like, I literally was hurting in this book. So another thing I want to point out, then we'll move on. Something that I didn't realize as a teen is how much Sandy idolized Adrian. So it made me question, does she genuinely love him, or did she love what he represented? Because she's dark skinned and he was light complected and had the pretty eyes. She looked at him as if he was everything that she wasn't. So I felt that she found value in herself by having this trophy looking guy, or the guy that was light skinned. I didn't pick up on, and I hated that her parents didn't teach her that black is beautiful, beautiful, and that yes, you're dark skinned, but the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice, just to remind her that you may not be light skinned or have butterscotch eyes, hazel eyes, curly wavy hair, whatever, but you are beautiful. And so it made her become obsessed with things that people that were lighter and or had better grade of hair and things like that. So that's something else that is touched on in this book. So just to kind of give you a heads up, her parents, more so her mom, does kind of her parents, more so her grandmother, does kind of make her feel insignificant or less than, or that she should be grateful that a light-skinned man wanted her because she's so dark. There's a part in the book where Grandma T just, oh my gosh. And what was crazy was Grandma T herself was dark-skinned. So it just made me wonder, maybe she grew up hearing how maybe she wasn't beautiful or attractive or deserving of love or whatever because she was dark skinned, and she just passed that on to generation to generation. But in one part of it, chapter 13, she told her, you made of the earth and the sun. Your mama, well, she's light in air. Janine Hutchison was so light-skinned, so ivory, it was hard to see any brown in her color. Nice to meet you, Adrian. Nice to meet you, Mrs. Hutchison. Sandy watched her mother's face, knew her thoughts, the tiny joy she was feeling. And then Sandy thinks to herself, yes, Mommy, he's caramel, got those honey eyes, the good stuff, just like you. And then earlier in the book, where was it? Earlier in the book, they were having their family dinner, and the grandmother was talking about the brother Cliff because he's light skinned, and she's like, they're telling the grandma, like, Mama, don't start. She's like, it's truth. The blood's mixed, faded. Ain't nobody's fault, just the way it is. Janine's family did a whole lot of mixing, that's all. Don't love her any less for it. It said, ain't your fault, Cliff. You was always a different child. You got that Cullen blood, and life done did you different. She said, Janine, you know I don't mean no harm, but you know what I'm saying is true. Cliff's your child, Sandy's ours. So even with that causing division between the siblings by saying, Sandy's ours, the black side because they're dark skinned, and that the brother is her side, is the mom's because he's light complected. So just imagine hearing that growing up. I can just see how that would cause division between the siblings and make one feel like they were better than the other one, or one was less than the other. So Sandy's goal or aim became to find someone light skinned so she can have light skinned babies to feel beautiful. And I just thought that was so sad, So anyways, as y'all can see, I love this book, and I can go on and on and on. So if you have not read it, please add it to your TBR, go order it, knock it out, and then come back to this video once you read it and let me know your thoughts. Okay, so my next book up that I read was another S.A. Cosby book, and it was called Blacktop Wasteland, and I rated it 4 stars. This book was an okay read to me. It was not bad, it wasn't great, but it was an okay read. It's definitely okay for a one-time read. The book description says that Beauregard, or aka Bug, montage, husband, father, honest car mechanic, but he was once known from North Carolina to the beaches of Florida as the best getaway driver on the East Coast, just like his father, who disappeared many years ago. After a series of financial calamities worsened by the racial prejudices of the small town he lives in, Bug reluctantly takes part in a daring diamond heist to solve his money troubles and to go straight once and for all. However, when it goes horrifically wrong, he's sucked into a grimy underworld which threatens everything and everyone he holds dear. Okay, so this was a decent read, not bad. It is action-packed. It kind of talks a bit about I don't want to say race car driving, but he races. He's a good driver, as his dad was as well, which is kind of where he gets it from. And things get tight, and so he decides to be a getaway driver for someone, and that just goes wrong. And it's kind of one thing after another that goes wrong with this one. It is not my favorite S.A. Cosby book. Now, with that being said, this is only the second book that I've read by S.A. Cosby. It was just an okay read. I wouldn't recommend it, but I also wouldn't tell you not to read it. It was just an okay read. There was an inner battle with Bug or Beauregard to follow after his father's footsteps and to be the father and husband that, he's trying to be. His dad left one day and just never came back, and he kind of struggles with that, but at the same time, he idolizes his father, and so it makes accepting who he truly was hard for him. I feel like what carried this book was that it did have action, from him racing, from him being a getaway driver, to him ended up having these, and they had fighting scenes and car chasing scenes and things like that. I think that's kind of what helped to push this book along. Like I said, it wasn't my favorite. I could have done without reading it, but I know, according to Goodreads, there's a lot of people who enjoyed it, so don't listen to me. I just may not have been the target audience for that. And don't get me wrong, I love Ford versus Ferrari. I watch all the race car movies and stuff that comes out. Just for me, I wasn't really just invested in the story. None of it really resonated with me. It was just an okay read, something to kind of pass the time. The overall rating on Goodreads is a 4.08. And a lot of people liked it. Like one person says, action-packed. This was a wild ride. I didn't want it to end. This truly felt like I was watching a movie. I'm falling deeper in love with this author every time I read a piece of his work. He's in a league of his own. And I will agree with that. I am falling more in like with S.A. Cosby's writing style and look forward to reading more by him. This one for me was just okay. So we're going to move on to the next. All right, so next book up that I read was an urban fiction book, Homie, Lovers, and Friends, a Brooklyn Love Story, book 1 by Jacquel J. And I have been in my urban fiction bag a little bit here lately. I think that urban fiction books are great palate cleansers because for the most part, you don't have to focus on them too much. They hold your attention though, because it's always some twists and turns and some drama happening, and they're almost always very quick reads. So I've been kind of throwing them in there in the mix now as palate cleansers, some light reading, even though they touch on heavy subjects. Like I said, they're not anything just really deep. When I'm reading urban fiction, I either read it in the background of another, like while I'm reading another book. So if I'm reading a book that's pretty lengthy, I'll pick up an urban fiction book just to kind of, for one, have a palate cleanser, get a little drama, a little messy tea, but also to kind of get that satisfaction of finishing a book, because I know I will finish an urban fiction book a lot faster than a regular book because the chapters are short. It's a page turner with all the drama going on, and so I found that works for me. And this book, I feel like I didn't have that great of a reading week. Loved being able to read Butterscotch Blues, but everything else was just like, okay. Even this book that I'm talking about now by Jacquel J, I rated it 4 stars, and that's rounding it up. Probably more so like a 3.5. But anyway, as I was saying, I don't feel like I had a great reading week this past week. And sometimes it just happens like that. Sometimes our picker is off, or sometimes we're just not in the mood for the book that we thought we were. And because these were all short reads, I just went ahead and finished them, even though they just weren't a great time, but they weren't bad either. So I'm like, hey, let's see it through to the end. But this week, the week that's coming up, I got some good reads. I got some really, really good reads, and I can't wait to share those with you. But let's get back to this book at hand, Homie, Lover, Friends by Jacquel J. What is so funny is I remember this book ending on a cliffhanger, and I cannot even remember what the cliffhanger was. Before I sat down to record this, I'm Googling, trying to jog my memory. Honestly, the story itself didn't even stick, and I tried to go back and read Google and the synopsis and the book description to jog my memory, and it is just not coming back to me. So I'm going to read the book description and just go from there. I do remember this book had quite a few point of views, and I don't normally like a lot of point of views because it can get kind of confusing, but this book overall was pretty simple and it wasn't hard to keep up with it. So I just want to put that out there. I'll go ahead and read the book description to kind of help both of us have an idea what this book was about. And I hate to say that because it does make you feel like, well, if you don't remember it must not have been a good book. And I will say it was an okay book. It was an okay book. It was a one-time read, a palate cleanser. You swish it around in your mouth, spit it out, and move on. There's other books in this series. I'm I think I will complete it because I just have a thing about that. All the books are going to pretty much be novellas, so I can finish it out. I definitely have a problem sometimes that if I start a series, I have to see through to the end. So I'm trying to be really careful about what series I start because I just like to complete things. So, all right, anyways, here is the book description on Homie Lover Friends. It says, Michelle and Kelsey have never had it easy, but the one thing that has remained consistent in each of their lives are each other. Both in their early 20s and with the stress of the world on their shoulders, they both managed to be here through it all for each other. Michelle's dream is to be a top stylist, while her dream was a reality until she was fired from Naomi's shop because of her boyfriend. Tashim is all Michelle knows, and that's being physically and mentally abused by the man she has loved since she was younger. When Tashim takes things a bit too far, will Michelle realize that it's time to put her life first and stop dealing with Tashim, or will a sexy, ruthless thug by the name Thor come in and sweep Michelle off her feet, literally? Thor has lived through the worst situations and managed to come out on top. Supply New York to Philly with guns with his two right hands, Mello and Millie. He has enough to sit back and retire if he wanted, except with his mother's expensive habit, he can't sit back and chill. Thor hides anything that has to do with his mother. The only people know are the people that are close to him. When Michelle enters his life, he feels she couldn't have come at a better time. Getting so caught up into Michelle, he realizes that once you're close with someone, you have to start sharing bits and pieces about your life. But is Thor ready to reveal his reality to Michelle? Kelsey works a dead-end job at the parks department to try and afford better health insurance for her daughter. Having a daughter with cerebral palsy and a baby father who constantly denies her is hard on Kelsey. All she wants is to have her baby father help raise her daughter, living in the projects in Brooklyn. She struggles day by day to keep both she and her daughter above water. One night at the club, while in altercation with her baby father, she meets Millie and things take a change. While Kelsey doesn't want a relationship because she's the type to throw herself fully in, Millie is cool with dating, plus seeing other people. Will Kelsey be able to deal with Millie's nonchalant attitude towards their relationship or lack of relationship? If one man wasn't enough, Miracle's new doctor is a thug in a white lab coat who wants a chance to show Kelsey how she should be treated. But will she allow it? Or is she stuck on trying to make something work with Millie? Will Kelsey and Michelle end up being homie, lovers, or friends? Yeah, so as you can see from the book description, a lot is going on in this book. There's a lot of characters in this book, a lot of drama in this book, and a lot of point of views in this book. As I said, I don't really remember this story, and that may be saying something in itself. However, I do remember I did not like any of the male main characters. Now, I know when you read an urban fiction book, you have to go into it with a certain mindset. Just like if you read a YA book or middle grade book, you have to kind of change your way of thinking and read it through that lens. I get that. However, it is not cute nor acceptable to have a man talk to you as if you're a man. To tell you to shut the F up, to tell you that you're effing stupid or you're effing up, or, you know, there is never a situation that I would be okay with my man, my husband, talking to me that way. Now, I do get these are street guys, okay? I get it. I get that they are about their life and they are of a different breed. But there still has to be respect. Even when I call myself trying to date a little hoodlum or whatever, there always had to be respect. Always. So a lot of the dialogue in this book is disrespectful, and the girls are just like, oh, I like when he takes control, or I like me a man who knows how to be a man, you know. And I'm like, they are flat out disrespecting you. Even when one of the girls, can't remember, there's so many of them, one of the girls got mad at the guy because they were supposed to be going on a date, and as he was walking around to the other side of the car, he ran into one of his homeboys and they started chopping it up. And then, you know, she beeped the horn like, hey, you know, come on. And he was like, you know, you effing rude, right? And she was like, what do you mean? Like, we're supposed to be going on a date, you're out there talking as if I'm not even here. So they kind of went back and forth or whatever, and he was like, yo, shut the F up and get back in the car. I'm like, Okay, maybe younger. It's hard to say that because where I'm at now, but maybe younger me or women like, maybe younger me would have liked that and found it attractive, or maybe that's just a young-minded thing to be talked to that way and like, ooh, well, he put me in check, he put me in line. I don't like it. I don't like it. And I don't like that none of the men are ready to put labels on what they are. I don't like how, Jacquel is trying to make us feel like Dora's a different man when he's with her, or trying to make us see love that's not there in all these situationships, because that's exactly what all of them are situationships. And it's like, I don't get it. I'm not seeing it. I'm not feeling it. I'm not invested in it. So, just keep that in mind. This book is very young-minded. The dialogue, the banter, the writing is very young-minded, and from a street point of view. Listen, don't get me wrong. I love me some jagged edges. I love me some rough ends. But, I think that I like the style. I like the urban fiction books are more of the style of like ethic. I don't know if you've read the books by Ashley Antoinette, but where he is a ninja out in the streets. He is that dude. He will check somebody quick, but when it comes to his lady, he's gentle with her and he's respectful, and he knows when to use that tone, to kind of help her realign if she's tripping, but he's not going to disrespect her, and he's not going to talk to her hard like she's a ninja. You know what I'm saying? So I did not like that. And there was tons of that in this book. A lot of disrespect, a lot of games and back and forth with one of the characters. I think it was Millie. The author wanted us to feel like, oh, he's so into her. But he don't want to go all in because she's guarded. So he's like, he told her, yeah, I'm effing other people or whatever. And she's like, oh, I guess I can't be mad. At least he was honest. And he was like, yeah, I'm not about to cut everybody off, and you're not ready to be, exclusive or serious. And I'm like, now I understand, dating, and we're not being exclusive, but and I understand the talking phase, the talking stage. While we're talking, you're free to do whatever you want to do. But when we're like hanging out, linking up, you shouldn't be sleeping with me plus 5 other women, or leaving me because, I'm like, we're on some chill, taking it slow stuff. So you're going to leave my place and go to the girl who's going to give it up to you for the night. And I'm supposed to be okay with knowing that, and like, oh, at least he's being honest. No. So keep that in mind when going into this book. It was just an okay read, a cool little palate cleanser. I have since moved on to something way better that I can't wait to share with you guys, a new to me author, and I am just loving her and loving that book down. All right, so moving on to my one and only stream for this past week, and that was a movie. Yes, that was a movie on Netflix called Eden. I'm gonna just be real with y'all. The only reason that I read it in the first place because it was called Eden and my daughter's name was Eden. So based off the title and then reading what it was about, I was intrigued, and it was a strange movie. It is based off of a true story, so that was another thing that piqued my interest about it. I love watching movies that are based off a true story, just because there's so many untold stories out there, and so to be able to watch it, to be able to watch the story in movie form is just really exciting, especially when it's in a different time period and things like that. If you have not watched it or heard of it, I'm going to read the overview of it. It says that it is a historical survival thriller based on the true story of the European settlers in the 1930s trying to build a utopian society on Florina Island in the Galapagos. But their dreams devolve into jealousy, conflict, and violence as they battle the harsh environment and each other, leading to mysterious disappearances and deaths that remain unsolved in real life. This movie was crazy. And yes, it is a thriller. I won't say that it's edge of your seat thriller, but it is a keep you on your toes thriller. Again, this is based off a true story, which made it that much better. One of the main female characters in the book passed away in 2006. So she lived there from the 1930s until she died at the age of 96 or 97 in 2006. And it says that her family and relatives are still over there as well. This was a pretty good watch. Once I finally got into it, it started a bit slow, a little weird. So I restarted it several times. I will say there is some unclothing scenes, so beware of watching this if you have little ones walking around. And there also are some bits in here that are like, I would say if you're not one that does well with kind of gruesome scenes, there is just a touch of that in here. Like for instance, one of the characters gets a tooth infection, and so they pull out their teeth to avoid it spreading. There are some bumping body scenes. I think that's probably the only thing that I would forewarn you guys about when going into this. Some of these characters will have you ticked off. Some of them will, especially the Baroness. Oh my gosh, that little conniving, manipulative thing, she just irked my soul. Oh, she irked my soul. But if you decide to watch this, just keep those things in mind before going into it. I did like at the end of this movie that it showed real life video clips and pictures of the people. I love seeing that. I love when they show us. I love when the movies are based off of a true story and they let us see the real people behind the story. It is crazy because these people went over there to try to start a life on this island, a utopia. And later in the movie, the Baroness comes over and she wants to put a hotel for tourists over there. And they were like, nah, we moved out here because we want to get away from all the people, all the busyness and things like that. But what was really crazy was that in real life, they were against the Baroness coming over there and opening up a hotel. But then one of the female main characters in real life, her and her family ended up opening a hotel for tourists over there. So I just thought it was crazy. But this ended up being a good watch once I got into it and got past the first kind of like 10 minutes of it that were a little strained and slow. I would say that if you like thrillers or you like movies like Castaway or Lord of Flies is one that they compared it to. I'm not familiar with that one, but I am familiar with Castaway. Imagine Castaway with the thriller element to it. That's Eden, and it was really good. And like I said, makes it even better that it was based off a true story. So that is it for my reads and streams for this past week. As I said, it was a bit of a slow read. I didn't have any amazing reads other than Butterscotch Blues, which I highly recommend for you, as well as Eden. Check it out. If you like Castaway, I think you will definitely enjoy Eden. If you decide to read any of these books, please come back and let me know. As I've said before, always feel free to share your thoughts on your current reads with me under my community posts or any of my video comments. I love to engage with you guys, and I really appreciate all the support. We are continuing to grow over here. I am going to give the giveaway one more week. So next week I will be announcing the 2 giveaways for the 300 or 200 subscriber giveaway, and then the next subscriber goal would be 500. We are currently at 369, I believe. So again, I just want to take a moment to thank you for coming back every week to support my channel, to engage with me. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. And until next time, don't forget to show yourself some love today.
Blessed with another chance, blessed with another chance, blessed with another chance, I am. Blessed with another chance, blessed with another chance,